Of all the things I've ever wanted to do in my life, dreams I've had or roles I've played, husband and father are tops. But I have to say, I've always wanted to be a soldier. When I gave Mom this picture taking the third day of boot camp, she asked me, "Gee, son, were you scared, depressed, or at your wit's end?" "I guess all of it," I replied. I really didn't know how much I was willing to give for my country. It makes me wonder how I got into this anyway. I was an ordinary 23-year-old guy and kind of a computer geek, which wasn't so common in the 90s. Life was good with my extraordinary wife, Megan, and our precious little daughter, Micaiah. I was living the American dream, eking out a living as a draftsman for Rosenberg Engineering in St. George, Utah. My father and I remodeled an older but spacious home we purchased across the street from my parents and my two kid brothers, Dave and Dan. My sister Ginger and her family lived close by, and we did a lot together as families. We had some good times together, cooking and enjoying the great outdoors, Megan's family and mine. We kept pretty busy in our families, and we had a lot of close friends. I had been trying to get a college degree, but I hadn't had so much success at that. With all the drafting work coming down from the engineers late in the week, I just couldn't commit to a college schedule at the time. But I was hoping that soon I'd get back to school. One day I found that opportunity that I needed. I was working on a huge storm drain system for the area, and a high-tech Army helicopter flew in to help us map the terrain. This was the coolest chopper. It had a plethora of high-tech mechanics. I wanted more. It left me obsessed with the idea that I could get my education while serving my country and provide an adequate income to keep my wife, home, and our future family safe. I had always wanted to be in the military, and still at age 23, the prospects almost made my heart burst. Megan caught my excitement. After doing our homework, we decided the Army would be the place for us. At the airport terminal, saying our goodbyes for boot camp was harder than I expected. The place was swarming with family, grandparents, folks, parents, cousins, aunts, and uncles. Trying to get my little daughter to let go of my hand and take her first step before I left was the big goal that I had. She was so full of life, and I'm crazy for her. Any time now, Kai, I thought. The crowd was entertained and tearful, but it was no go for Micaiah's first big step. I could see the accommodating 18-passenger waiting to hit the runway outside the large terminal window. I hugged my parents, squeezed my little princess again, kissed my wife Megan. I turned out the hot pavement, and partway up the stairs up board, suddenly a gasp came from the crowd. "He's falling!" Oops, now he just stumbled. Then everyone knew. Blinded tears were blocking my vision of the future. All I could see
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Summer has come and passed. The innocent can never last. Wake me up when September ends. Like my father's come to pass, 7 years has gone so fast. Wake me up when September ends. Here comes the rain again, falling from the stars, drenched in my pain again, becoming who we are. As my memory rests, but never forgets what I lost. Wake me up when September ends.
I've been waiting for my dreams to turn into something I could believe in, and looking for that magic rainbow on the horizon. I couldn't see it until I let go, gave in to love, and watched all the bitterness burn. Now I'm coming alive, body and soul, feeling my world start to turn. And I'll taste every moment and live it out loud. I know this is the time, this is the time to be more than a name or face in the crowd. I know this is the time, this is the time of my life, time of my life. Holding on to things and vanished into the air, left me in pieces, but now I'm rising from the ashes, finding my wings. Know that I needed was there all along, within my reach, as close as the beat of my heart. And I'll taste every moment and live it out loud. I know this is the time, this is the time to be more than a name or a face in the crowd. I know this is the time, this is the time of my life, the time of my life. If you're reading this, and my mama's sitting there, looks like I only got a one-way ticket over here. I sure wish I could give you one more kiss. And war was just a game we played when we were kids. Well, I'm laying down my gun, I'm hanging up my boots, I'm up here with God, and we're both watching over you. So lay me down in that open field out on the edge of town, and know my soul is where my mama always prayed that it would go. But if you're reading this, I'm already home. If you're reading this, halfway around the world, I won't be there to see the birth of our little girl. I hope she looks like you, I hope she fights like me and stands up for the innocent and the weak. I'm laying down my gun, I'm hanging up my boots. Tell Dad I don't regret that I followed in his shoes. So lay me down in that open field out on the edge of town, and know my soul is where my mom always prayed that it would go. If you're reading this, I'm already home.
Rain bathes the perimeter, like a hesitant child touching something while the magnitude of its danger is unknown. Soldiers peer from under their dampened shelters, looking for the awaited foe, hoping they, the enemy, will wait for another day. The sentinels bear the outward scars and strain to control the inward wounds. Eyes tell the horrors they have seen. Shoulders sag from the weight of their untold stories. Many before me have tried to put into words the feelings of war. I wish I could better describe the hopelessness buried by pride or the fear quelled by faith. On this wet night I have seen the core of men's ugliest moment, the death of brave men, the strength of desperation. I have heard the churn of the choppers, the screams of the wounded, seen the gruesome serenity of the dying. On the herald of a new dawn, the fear, the death evaporates with the rain. So too the memories dissipate from consciousness. Light sheds upon the unknown. The foe retreats. But the signs remain upon the surface. The scars of conflict mark the battle worn.